guys, I am back this week for a chit chat video. You guys seem to still like these videos, so I'm going to keep doing them. And I have some things to talk about this week. One thing is we will be having an email newsletter going out this week. I just have to do it tonight. So that will be going out hopefully tonight or tomorrow, probably tomorrow morning. It'll probably be going out tomorrow morning. And that will have like all of the, like maybe even like sometime Tuesday, maybe then. But I want to talk about a few different things that are changing with the website. Well, not changing, I'm just adding on. And one of those being rewards. So we now have a reward system. I just set it all up. I figured it out. I found the right like rewards program company that I'm doing the service through that I really like. And I like the way they have it all set up and the way they're doing it. And it's not like astronomical in pricing because some of those were really expensive. It was going to cost me on some of those other ones I was looking at like $300 a month. And I'm like, I don't think that is going to work for me. So it was a lot of money. So I found one that has all the things I want, does everything I need. It's cute, it's simple, it's easy to navigate, and it's much, much less. So that way it all like doesn't, cost me more than it like helps me out. So yeah, so the rewards program is ready to go, and instead of points, we're doing hearts, which I thought would be fun because, Jessica Hearts. So that is all set up on the website. If you create an account, then you will be able to have access to all of that. So if you have an account already on there, you can log on and see all the point stuff and everything. You're already automatically enrolled in it if you have an account. Or if you create a new account, there's no like new like separate account or anything. It's all under the same account, and you can earn different rewards. So I'm looking at it right now on my computer, so I keep looking over there. It'll keep track of how many hearts you have, and you can get different like tiered rewards. So you get $5 off after 200 hearts, or $10 off, or $15 off after different points, just like a standard loyalty reward point system. And then you have different ways to earn, like sharing on Facebook, or referring a friend, or making an order, or following on Instagram, and things like that. So each dollar you spend is one heart. So there is that. And then you can like choose, you'll get emails once you start hitting certain milestones on there, and then you can choose if you want to keep saving by like not claiming your code for the discount. Or you can just use that discount and then just start over from zero. So if you want, you can save up for like the $15 off, or $10 off, $15 off, or you could just spend it when you get to the $5 off. It's up to you, however you want to use them. So that will be on the website now. It's all up and running, ready to go. If you placed orders before and you didn't have like an account yet, I don't believe I have a way to add them in. That was kind of part of the only downfall of this one type of provider, like service provider for this, was that they didn't have the ability to add points in later. But there hasn't been like an insane amount of orders on there, and a lot of you guys already have the login. So a lot of you probably have only placed like 1 or 2 orders max, maybe if you didn't have an account already. So I'm sorry if that is the situation. If it really bothers you, maybe you can message me and we can try to figure something out, but I can't add them back in. So I'm just kind of making it like a blanket, like we're starting now for that. And yeah, so that's super exciting. I also want to talk about the new releases this week. I actually have a restocks calendar and new releases calendar on the website. If you go to the website, I'm on here now, and on the top menu, you have all different options, and then you have one that says all the info. And if you click all the info, it has another drop-down menu that has like FAQs, returns and policies, shipping, and then there's also restocks and releases calendar on there. And if you click that, it takes you to the restocks and releases calendar page. And I just have listed key dates for June and July right now. So, and it also has like information for the seasonal boxes. So the summer boxes has when it will ship on there, which you already know if you have it, but fall box pre-sale when that starts, and it has listed out for the next like month or so worth of kits and things that are coming out. One of them is still like to be determined 1 week, which it will say, but other than that, it keeps going. And then you can check to see when things are going to be restocked, if there's going to be any restocks. If I don't have it on there. I don't have one planned at the moment, and I will update it if I change anything. So yeah, so that is a great place to find it. You'll be easier to find it there than anywhere else because that's ongoingly updated. Right now it's updated through July 13th of all of the things. I know one of them says to be determined, so that will change as soon as I have it nailed down what's going to be released that week. But otherwise, yeah, they're already all done through there. So that's really good. I get so many questions as to when, like, what things are coming out or like shop schedules and things like that. And they kind of get buried on Instagram, or people just don't see them because of the algorithm funkiness. So definitely be sure to check out the website because that has all the restocks and releases right there on like the calendar kind of setup. So yes, so there's that. And then this week we will have, I believe, 2 new kits. Those are the ones I have on the website ready to go. So yeah, we're gonna have 2 new kits. We're gonna have a vintage wedding kit, which I've had so many requests for, a vintage like photo kit, similar to like vintage party, and I've had like other vintagey ones. Like Versailles was a little bit vintagey, and I feel like I've had other vintagey type kits, and you guys loved it. Like Americana was kind of vintagey, and so yes, I've had a bunch of requests for wedding ones that are like vintagey photos, wedding photo kits. And so I have this one designed and I'm obsessed with it, and I will post a sneak peek soon on Instagram, or if you get the emails and you're part of the newsletter, you will see that this week. And one of the photos from the vintage wedding kit is actually the same photo as in the Dreamcatcher kit, which, let me grab the one that just went up last week. Oh my gosh. Are you guys all right? That took a tumble. This happens when I get up and start moving around. I like move things. So, the August monthly kit, this one that we had went up last week. There's still some in the shop. And once they sell out, they'll be restocked on July 6th, according to the restock calendar online. Yeah, this photo I was obsessed with. I found it for the vintage wedding kit. Loved it so much. I was like, I need to make a monthly kit out of this. This would be perfect for August. So that's how I got that one. But that one is part of the vintage wedding kit. Ugh, I'm trying to make this like a little bit better, but so yeah, so that will be up this Friday. We also have a wilderness kit coming up this Friday, and it is also another photo kit, and it is like a camping photo kit, and it's really, really gorgeous. I've had that one ready to go since like a month before my website launch. So I've had that one ready to go since probably like March or April, probably about April. And then I just never had like a good time to release it. And I was going to release it during PBC. And then I was like, well, I can only have certain kits, and I feel like you guys would like the ones I released better. So, like they seemed more like typical planner style. So I thought those would do a little bit better during PBC. For like new people coming in and stuff, I thought they would like those kinds of things a little bit better. But the wilderness kit's a little bit different, but I love it. Yes, and so we'll also have a $5 Friday. I have that on deck. I think that's everything that will be going up on Friday. So definitely keep an eye out for those. They'll be up on the shop and the website at 9 a.m. like usual. And okay, so then also I want to talk about the changes that are happening on Etsy, because that's been all over the place, and I want to kind of give you guys, let you know where I'm going to be going with the shop on that, and like what I'm going to be doing, because it's going to change things a little bit. So if for some reason you haven't heard yet, the Etsy has announced like 30 days prior to before it goes into effect that they're going to raise our processing fees from 3.5% up to 5%, and they're going to charge 5% on shipping now as well. So before they didn't charge anything on shipping. They charged like obviously the shipping rate, which is like $2.75 or whatever. Like they charged the rate for shipping, but they did not charge the 5% fee on top of it. So now they're charging a fee on top as well. And plus, we already pay 20 cents per listing that goes up. And each time, not just for the listing, but each time someone buys it, we pay 20 cents per item, essentially, on every sale. Everything we sell is 20 cents per item, plus the 3.5, which will now be 5%, and on shipping, plus the credit card processing fees, which are about 3.5, 3.6%. and sometimes even more, like on top of that, like another 20 cents or 10 cents or something on top of that too. So there's a lot of fees that are happening, and I think it's just more frustrating. And I don't know, for me personally as an Etsy shop seller, and I've seen this a lot on the different Etsy like posts and stuff, people commenting, I think they're just more upset and frustrated with the charge on shipping, because they're like, that means we have to charge more than USPS charges for shipping. Like, why would I want to pay more than the standard rate for shipping if I don't have to? Like, why would you want, you know, like, why would we want to do that? And not only that, but it doesn't matter where you buy the label through. So even if you don't buy the label through Etsy, they still charge you the 5% of the cost of the label. Even if you don't buy it through them, you could take it to USPS directly and ship it through them, and it doesn't matter. They still take the fee out. And it's just kind of like, it's been like an ongoing like set of changes. Like, they've been messing with things for a while, and it's kind of been like annoying and frustrating as a seller. And this was like the straw that broke the camel's back, I think, for a lot of people, because they had already changed the whole interface quite a few months ago, like 3 or 4 months ago, and they changed how everything looked. And they do that quite often, but this was like a complete overhaul. They completely changed how the entire like seller interface works, like how we ship orders, how we do all of that stuff. And you have to kind of relearn how to do it, and you don't really know that it's coming. Like, it just happens. Sometimes they'll let you opt in first, and usually I will opt in just so it gives me time to kind of get used to it a little bit, and I can switch it out before if I need to. But like, I don't know, they changed over the whole thing. So even if you like the way you processed orders before and the way you liked it did better this way, you have to change no matter what, because it's their platform. So eventually they do put it all into place and you don't have a choice. So that can be frustrating. And then, but like, I get it. Like, it's the name of the game. Like, it's their website. I'm selling through their website. That's just what happens. I get it. Makes sense. So 30 days prior to this announcement that they made for the Etsy fee change, they had sent out another email saying they were going to change the way that they charged us. And no one really talked about that much. They talked about it in some of like the shop, like planner shop groups that I'm part of, for like the sellers. And they changed the way that they're going to take payments from us now. Because before, you accrued like a bill, and then you would pay the bill once it reached a certain like fee threshold, or it was the end of the month, or whatever your payment schedule was supposed to be. So for mine, it's $1,000. So once I hit $1,000 threshold for the bill, and the bill includes shipping costs, like every time you buy a shipping label through them, that goes to your bill. Every time a listing gets renewed, that 20 cents goes on your bill. Every time someone buys something, all of the fees that are associated with it go onto your bill. And then you can go in there and you can click manually to pay your bill, or it will automatically deduct once you hit your fee threshold. So my fee threshold was $1,000. So it would go out whenever I hit $1,000. It would take the money out, and then, or at the end of the month, it'll take the money out no matter what, because at the end of each month, it will always take whatever remaining balance you have and take it out of your account. So they're changed, instead of doing that, they changed over to taking the fees immediately out of the sale, I guess. So once you place your order, it comes into them, into Etsy, they take out all of their fees and costs and everything like that, and then whatever's left kind of gets tossed to you as the seller. So a lot of people are frustrated because they kind of work to pay their bills at certain times, and sometimes they need that money to be able to front to buy supplies to produce those items, and then they're able to pay it back later after they get more orders, and I don't know, something like that. I won't be affected by it too much. Like, I'm fine. That's all right with me. It's a little bit like weird at first. I feel like it's just kind of like, all right, like, do you not trust us to pay? But then I'm like, they probably are getting stiffed by people. Like, people are like closing shop or something without paying their bill, or I don't know. I'm sure there's something. I bet they're losing, and I'm sure they're always out a lot of money. So I get it. It makes sense business-wise. I get it. It was a little bit like, oh, whoa, okay. All right. Makes sense. But like, now you're going to change it after like 3 years. Like, it's okay. So like, I think we just kind of all got used to it, and then that change happened, and I was like, all right, July 16th, that's when that's going to go. That's when that's going to happen. So they told us that like a month ago. And then last Friday is when they first sent us the email telling us that they're going to start raising the fees as well on July 16th. And I'm like, that's something you probably knew in advance. Right? Like that's not something they just started putting into place within the next 30 days. That wasn't decided on that long ago. Like it had to have been decided on much further in advance than just like within the last 30. I'm like, why didn't you tell us about that back when you told us about how they were going to change the billing? Because that seems like the perfect time. Like they're changing the billing by, you know, taking the money out before we get to see it. And then also the fee increase. Like that seems like the perfect time to get everyone to be able to adjust and prepare themselves with 2 months. But instead they kind of waited another 30 days before giving us a 30-day notice that they're going to raise the percentage. So I don't know. I get it from a business standpoint. I get you have to do what you have to do. I don't think that they're like crooks or anything like that, because it's their platform that we're using to sell, and they do bring us audiences. They do bring us sellers. They do bring us people. But I will say though that from everyone I've heard on Etsy, most people are having a harder time, like a much slower year than they've ever had before on Etsy this year. So it kind of doesn't make sense for them to raise rates right now, because people are already selling less than they ever have. From the majority of people I've spoken to, like most people aren't doing as well as they were before. So it does seem weird that like it's going to be hard on people. It's going to be hard on shops. It's going to be hard on these small businesses and people that are crafters and artists and people that are trying to like make a living off of that. You know, it's going to be challenging. So yeah. I don't know. My qualm is just like, why did they give us a bigger heads up? Like, I'm sure it's because they didn't want everyone to like go move to their own website before the input and everything goes into place, or like they didn't want to give people a lot of time to be able to kind of like complain about it or something. I don't know. I don't know why they did it the way that they did it. I think it could have been handled a little bit better. And they kind of also didn't really give us any specifics as to what they were going to do. They're like, we're going to improve seller tools with all this extra money that you're going to be giving us. Like, we'll improve the seller tools and we're going to improve the different functions and everything. And we're going to bring you more traffic, which if that is true, if they do that, then that would be amazing. I would love that. If what we sold outweighed what we spent extra, that would be amazing. I'd be so down for it. But something tells me like that's not going to happen, because it never has before when they've done this kind of stuff. Like, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. But that being said, I am going to keep my Etsy shop open because I do love Etsy, and but I will be raising my prices to reflect the increased difference, and it shouldn't be that much though. It's going to be like cents, like less than 50 cents, I think, per item, I think. But I mean, that stuff adds up though. It's like a seller especially, like that adds up, because you still have like supplies and like you have all of this other stuff that still has to go into it, more than just supplies. But that's the first thing I thought of. Yeah, it's interesting. But I also have the website open. The website will be cheaper. Yeah, shipping's already cheaper on the website. Everything will be cheaper on the website. You can get points, hearts, which is cute. And then, but yeah, Etsy will still be open. I'll keep updating. I'll keep putting stuff on Etsy just like now. It's just the prices will go up a little bit, a smidgen. So if you're still okay with that and you still want to shop on Etsy, have at it. Love it. It'll be there for you. We will keep it running. We'll keep it going, just the same as ever before. And if you want to save some money and you feel comfortable, and you want to get some points, and you want to feel comfortable shopping in an external site, come on over to jessicahearts.com. It's where the party's at. And I actually have more items on there too, like a lot more stationery type items that I don't have on the Etsy shop. So like inserts and things like that. And so yeah, I think a lot of people seem to be moving to their own websites, which is really cool. So definitely support them if they do that, because you get to keep a little bit more in your pocket there. And the analytics are way better. Like, you're able to find things a lot easier and see trends and stuff like that better. The coupon system is way better. Like, the way you can run discounts and coupons is so much better. Like, it makes me want to have more sales because they're a lot easier to do, because the Etsy one's kind of lacking a little bit. And maybe that's something they'll change, but I don't think so, because they said that they were going to charge us more so they could bring improved seller functions and improved seller tools. But then they said that, like, if you want anything new that they're going to offer, you're going to have to pay an extra fee a month, like $20 or $30 a monthly, like, subscription fee to be able to have cooler features. Then I'm like, but then why are you charging us more already if we're not going to get anything different? They're like, don't worry, what you have is free, but if you want more later on, you can pay more. But I'm like, I thought you said that's what the percentage was going to. I don't know. It's a little bit confusing. It's a little sad though, just because I know that, like, there's a bottom line for everything, you know, like you kind of hope and think like, oh, it's like a place where they like foster artists and like small businesses can grow. And then they kind of like, you're like, oh, but wait, they still need money too. They still need to appease investors. Like they're still a big business. So sometimes some people fall through the cracks a little. I don't know. I'm not worried about it though. It'll be interesting to see kind of where it goes when a lot of Etsy shops are leaving Etsy. It'll be interesting to see how things change, because I think the sticker shops make up a huge portion of Etsy. I really think they do, and I really think that we have a big impact on Etsy. I like to think that. I know there's a lot of other really big shops and like in other categories, but I really think that sticker shops have really like, there's so many of us. So I think it will make an impact if a lot of people are leaving. So I don't know, so we'll see. But for me, it'll all be the same. Might be a little bit more expensive on there. So I will direct people more to the website just because it's cheaper and there's rewards. You keep more money, I keep more money. It's like a win-win all around. And yeah, so that's kind of it. I just want to kind of, I know that was like super long, but I really want to talk about a little bit, and then also to let you know kind of what we've heard and what we've experienced through the seller side, through like the different emails and things like that we've gotten from them, because as a buyer you probably wouldn't see them unless you also have a shop. So it's just kind of like weird the way it was handled. I think people are upset about. And then they kept saying that like thousands of sellers were interviewed for this and they all were so excited for this and voted for this. And I was like, and everyone is like, what sellers want to pay more money on their items and charge more for their customers? Like, no seller wants that. Like, no seller wants that. So I don't know, that was weird. It's just kind of like weird things like that. I don't know. It kind of just gave me like a weird vibe from the whole thing. So yeah, but I completely understand if you want to still shop Etsy, because there's so many great shops on there, and it's like I do still want to support all those small shops, you know, that are like us. So yeah, so that is everything. I hope I didn't like ramble your ear off. I know it's just been like a big topic lately on Instagram and everything, and so you're probably sick of hearing about it, but I just thought it was so interesting, like some of the things you maybe don't hear about, like the rest of the stuff. Like I don't think many people know that they have already changed, we're going to change something July 16th, like over a month ago. They let us all know about how they're going to change the billing, and it makes sense now. We're wondering like, why are they doing that? Like, okay, maybe they need money, but then like now it makes sense because they were going to take out a higher percentage anyways, so they don't have to worry about people like stiffing them and not paying their bill if they're not okay with this increase, because they'll never get a chance to. Like they'll never get a chance to not pay it because they're automatically going to take it out instead now. So yeah, it is interesting, and I get why they're doing it. They're a business and they have to stay afloat and make money, otherwise we would not have a job anywhere either. So I get it. I get it. Makes sense. It's very expensive to run, I'm sure. And yeah, so that is everything this week, I think. Everything. So we got the reward system, new releases happening this week I'm so excited about, and the restocks calendar on the website. That was the one thing I want to tell you guys about, and all the Etsy craziness. So yes, that is it. I hope you're having a wonderful week, and I will see you guys on Friday with the new releases. Bye.